All right. So I am going to do a bit more practicing before bedtime. I figured I'd throw up a live stream in case anybody's interested in watching a leather and leather, a legend in training. uh, do some practice. So here we go. So we're still working on WC's Clear de Lune. I'm going to start from the top and see how far I can get. All right, cool. I guess I'll monitor chat somewhat. Somewhat. This is more about practicing, less interacting, but I'll monitor chat somewhat. All right, cool. So I'm gonna move this mic out of the way though. Mm, why is that messing up? So. So this part is the part that's challenging for me. So slowly it's huh. So it's no. Hang on. Right hand. The left hand is uh-uh. Wait, what is that? Why is this? That's not right. Yeah. So it's like that. All right, you got to go quick. So it's like slower. You got Yo, Benjamin, what's going on, bro? How are you, man? 1, 2, 3. And then you got So boom. That's good, man. Had a good day today? So again, you got doom, boom, boom. Ready to see this new NPC? Well, first of all, you messaged me something. I'm just remembering the video that we talked about. Remind me, did you make it and tag me? I'm just remembering. But ready to see this new NPC Key 37. Is this something new that they just came out with? Do I need to look it up right now? NPC, or do you mean you have it and it's new to you and you're about to do a review on it? Either way. I'm ready, but I'm curious. Let's see. Is it something new that they just came out with, or what? Oh, oh shoot. Okay, Akai Pro. Okay, that's pretty interesting. So that's like their MPC key that just came out, which I didn't like, which I tried the 61 key. I couldn't get into the workflow. Dropping dropping early February. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I didn't get into that workflow, dude. I didn't spend enough time really trying to like learn it, but I just there were things about it that I just couldn't get with. So I ended up sending it back. So this is probably something that I'm not that interested in. Although that's an interesting form factor, right? That's like a mobile, it's not battery operated, or is it? That's a pretty important question if it's a standalone. Um, it's not out for the public. The workflow is unique. Yeah, it definitely is. Like some of the things, take this hoodie off. Some of the things about it that kind of threw me off a little bit were like loading sounds and loading presets and kits and stuff like that. Like took time, like loading. You know what I'm saying? You hit the button, you're like, oh, I want to go through these sounds. And it's like load up this kit, like it's a computer. Whereas like I'm used to, oh, I want this sound, this sound. I'm used to just going quickly, you know what I'm saying? And so that threw me off tremendously. Yeah, rack is nice, but the battery upgrade has, but not bad. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, that's it's interesting. I mean, it's always that new product, something new coming out, and whether or not, I mean, honestly, what I've learned, whether or not it's like a distraction or if it's something that really is gonna help your workflow, you know what I'm saying? Something like that you're missing that this is gonna bring. Um, for sure. So yeah, what I was kind of aside from practicing right now, what I was kind of thinking about doing here is kind of setting up a little temporary or as could be temporary or it could be a while depending on how much fun it is. But like basically, I have you can't really see the mixer here, but I also have the mixer sitting right over here with the OPZ and OP1, and I was thinking it would be kind of cool. Hey, what's going on, Nacho Jara? Damn that MX. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy, crazy synth. It's a crazy synth. So I was thinking about routing. Let's see, output of this to the input of my OP1. Okay, output of this to the input of OP1, and then the output of both the OP1 and the OPZ to two different inputs on the TX6, and then maybe even my iPad going to another input of the TX6. Then you got like, you know, music that I've created on the iPad on one input there. You got OPZ stuff that I can improvise over another input. And then you have like the sounds from here that I can record directly into the OP1. And then all this is going out to you guys from the mixer. So that's a setup that I'm gonna experiment with and see what it kind of looks and feels like and everything. Yo, Lou, what's going on, bro? That's the video link for the one I made. Yeah. If you just sent it, it got blocked. If you saying you sent it in here just now, but cool. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna definitely do that. I haven't made videos on that yet, but that's some of the most fun. And I know you. I think you plug. Well, you've had an OP1 before. I don't think you have one now, but I think you've talked about like plugging your guitar into the OP1, and that's what to me that's where this thing really shines. Just getting some stuff live. I think that's gonna be freaking crazy the setup that I just described. So the only thing is I would overthink things a lot. You know, I would be like, oh, these are portable pieces of equipment, and so if I have them wired up in a way that's like sort of permanent in this setup, am I defeating the purpose? And the answer is no. Hell no. I'm not defeating the purpose. Like they're portable, so they allow me to be able to use multiple things sitting here. If they weren't portable, it would take up more space. But also, like in this season, right? Maybe for a few days or a few weeks, whatever, however long that I'm having fun with the fun and being inspired by the workflow. Like maybe they're not portable. Maybe I'm not taking them out and about. They're staying configured in this setup here in this live stream and stuff. So yeah, y'all will be seeing me do some stuff with this very soon. So Lou said you recommend any pocket operators for my first time, bro. Yeah, so I don't know too much about the pocket operators, honestly, like real talk. I just know that the KO which is this one, is the most fun that I had using them. I haven't really used them that much more since getting them, to be quite honest. I had one of my buddies give me like a little online like video tutorial thing and just kind of walk me through the process. I think they're fun for sure. But I just yeah, I don't know. I just haven't dove in for whatever reason. That's kind of what it is. Um, yeah, the 33. That's right. You should create some one shots from your keyboard for your OP1 fill. That's a great idea too. So that's a different workflow, right? That's like maybe sampling from here directly into the OP1 as opposed to, goddamn, we have 21 people in here. See, this is what it's about, man. Numbers don't matter, but they do matter, right? Like for me, when I'm doing these live streams, I'm kind of like just feeling more comfortable. Um, I didn't even I didn't even expect people to show up like that. I was just here to practice for a little bit before I got to go to bed. But I do think behind the scenes, there's some magic happening at YouTube to kind of get the content out to people and stuff like that in a I don't know, like a way that's better than it used to be, which is really cool. Yeah, I have a question about the door. Are you using Loopy or Koala? Good question. I have not used Loopy in quite a while. I use Core Gadget mostly. That's my DAW of choice. Koala Sampler, my latest excitement about that app, and Benjamin, who's in the chat, can probably speak to it a lot more. But my latest excitement right now is taking some of the musical ideas that I created in Koala Sampler and moving them into or saving them as Ableton Live set and like building them more in Ableton Live. That's been something that I've been very keen on experimenting with and kind of like basically the stuff that I've created in Koala has been kind of just in purgatory, for lack of a better word. Like it just none of them are like finished songs. They're just ideas and loops and stuff like that that I've created. But now that I know that you could send them over to Ableton, it's like it's very exciting for me. And yeah, so that's kind of where I am with that. So you said that's the OP1 field and the OPZ. Yeah, that's exactly what's right here. Yep, those two. Nothing is connected. I just kind of sat them there to remind myself, like, tomorrow, let's wire these things up and let's get it going. Koala is my iOS go-to. Yeah, and so the other thing about Koala, what I was thinking about doing, I'm trying to like I'm trying to like offload stuff on my iPad Mini, which is kind of a used to be my go-to thing, right? When I had an older iPhone and I didn't have my MacBook, I was using the iPad Mini for everything. Now I'm starting to take stuff off of there that I could do just as well. Let's put it that way on either of those two other, like on my MacBook or my phone. And so the next thing that I plan to do is like take all of my 18 gigs worth of music that I created in Koala and send them over here on my phone and spend an afternoon at the cafe with one of my favorite drinks and just kind of be like, all right, well, what does this workflow look like for me using Koala Sampler on something smaller than what I'm used to? And how does it feel? Like, is it good? Is it inferior? Like, what does it kind of look like? So if that feels nice, then I would, delete the stuff from my iPad, right? And say, all right, here's another thing that I don't necessarily need the iPad for. And just, yeah, just kind of consolidating a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm working on there. Um, and then Lou said Benjamin is my favorite. I watch all. Yeah, man, Benjamin is the man. Yeah, I'm super excited to see that he's putting content out there and supporting the community and doing some good stuff, man. So it's definitely a good guy who's been rocking with my content, right, Benjamin? For I don't know how long, but it's been a number of years now for sure. So yeah, always appreciate the support. Definitely do. It's the best for sampling and creating quick songs and ideas. This is true. Thanks, Lou. Yeah, I use my iPhone 15 Pro Max. It's much easier for me to quickly get. Yeah, because you always have it with you, right? And it's just, yeah, for sure. iPhone's with you all the time. Yeah, no problem. No problem. No problem. Use GarageBand. I still enjoy live. Yeah, Lou, that's what's up, man. Been watching Kevin for a minute. Yeah, for sure. And Lou, yeah, you've been doing your thing, man. I've heard quite a few of your tracks, obviously over the what it's been, I guess, years now since I've met you. Well, we don't even need air quotes. We haven't met in person. I've met most of my channel family in person, but yeah, man, love your inquisitive nature about things, and always like wanting to learn and stuff. It's definitely a good thing. So one thing I was teaching earlier today, one of my students when I was giving a lesson is like practice playing like that piece that I just played for you. Like practice playing things as soft as humanly possible. So in that case, it would be like, whoops. I mean, playing soft, it's a little more challenging. Mm, I keep messing that part up. So it's pretty cool. Boom, 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 boom. I'm trying to figure out how to use my MPK Mini in GarageBand. Should recognize if you hook it up. Hey, thank you, Nacho. Appreciate it. I have the MPK Mini Plus plugin. Yeah, should work. Just directly plugging in. And you know, one thing is, so I bought this. I don't feel like going to get it. Well, I actually am gonna get it. One second. Yeah, so I bought this not too long ago. This what is this? 25 key. Hey, you need something? Oh, one sec, guys. Let me mute this. Okay. So, yes, I bought this, and this is a really good MIDI controller. I like it a lot. The only thing is that I'm trying to figure out is I should have grabbed the other one, but I'm trying to figure out like whether or not there's a place for something like this. And what I mean by that, and this is like for me, whether there's a place for it. So this can be used, you know, with Ableton. It has really tight Ableton integration. It has USB-C on it, which I love. Um, but the size of this means that I won't be bringing this out the house, like out and about, right? I'm not gonna like, it's not heavy per se, but like I wouldn't bring this out just because it's like too big to for me to bring out, right? Like the biggest thing I bring with me is like my laptop. So things need to be super mobile. So where would I use this? Well, I would use this in the house. I had it in the kitchen the other day, and it was fun. I was like connecting Ableton to it and jamming out in the kitchen. It was like cool. But if I'm in the house and I'm using Ableton, how do I best say this? Wouldn't it make a ton more sense for a piano player to have like to be using Ableton with this keyboard? You know what I'm saying? Like using this keyboard. If I'm using Ableton in the house, like why use a keyboard that I can't play beautiful chords and all kind of stuff on just because I can be anywhere in the house? It doesn't kind of make that much sense for me. I think so. What I'm working on right now is figuring out something like this. Well, two things I'm kind of thinking about. One is this keyboard, this workstation right here has supposedly tight integration with Ableton and other DAWs. And so for me, I want to connect Ableton to this. I want to figure out where my laptop could comfortably sit here. Like I just recently put a music rest right here behind the keyboard to use for sheet reading, like what I was just doing. So this is like a nice upgrade because previously I didn't have a place to like look at my sheet music on this setup. So that's a big plus. But then does the laptop sit next to me here? Does it sit over here? It can go above the keyboard as well. There's an option for that. Um, so I want to check that out a little bit too. But then on top of that, there is this other idea. Korg came out with something called a key stage, and I'm extremely keen on that. It's a 49 key or 61 key. I've been thinking about it too much to not get it, so I'm gonna get it eventually. And it is a MIDI controller. And hey, what's going on, Madhu? How are you? How are you? It's a MIDI controller, and it has MIDI 2.0, and it has tight integration with Core Gadget, which I use, so that's a big plus. It also has tight integration with Ableton, like being able to, I think, go through different presets and all kind of stuff on there, right? It just works out of the box. And that is significantly better using something in between an 88 key and like a 25 key, having like what is that? What did I say, 49 or 61 key. So I say all that to say it's a exploratory process that I am still kind of working through right now. But yeah, so that's one piece. And then, of course, the other setup that I just mentioned, more of like the live setup using the Teenage Engineering gear, is something that I'm going to kind of work through as well. All right, I'm going to play a piece right now called The Prelude by Bach. Let's go. Let me read some comments. If you use quality, you can use one shots. And I will use the OP1 field Bluetooth with my. Yeah, cool. I've done that. That's a good. That's definitely a good dope setup. I like the OP1 field with USB directly to my iPad, and then having the headphone connected to the OP1. Like that setup right there works super well. It handles MIDI and audio. That doesn't make much sense. You got plenty of keyboards. Yeah, totally. So I'm gonna figure that piece out, right? Like this keyboard, there's a chance that gets returned, right? There's a chance that that the key stage might make more sense, or maybe when I figure out how to use this with Ableton and have everything wired up correctly, and figure out how tight the DAW integration is. I'm looping on here. I'm doing, my voice and doing the whole nine. Like that kind of feels like perfect, air quotes, like very close to perfect. So yeah. Um, how do I get instruments? Grab the free packs, find keyboard, one shot sample. I'll make a video. There you go. There you go. And you know what? I gotta get ready to bounce out because I gotta be up early tomorrow. But appreciate you guys joining. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna head on out. I was gonna do a little bit more practicing, but I'm like tired. I'm exhausted. Long, long day today. So thank you guys for joining, and look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Also, I'm feeling the lighting here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm learning piano, so I like to ask you how to get more expressive in the playing. Before I go, more expression. Before I go, I'll answer that question. So you wanna? There's like different levels of piano, right? If I played that same piece and I was like this, playing forte the whole time versus literally doing what you said, playing with expression, practicing being able to play soft and play hard. So you could pick up the speed, and the velocity of the keys, and slow down the speed and like lower the velocity, aka the volume of the keys, to give some emotion. There's a lot of different things I can share. I mean, definitely make sure you're subbed if you aren't, and hit the notification bell and stuff. So next time I do one of these, you can hop on, and then we could talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, just takes practice, and it takes practice so you know how to control with your fingers. Like you're like, oh, I know this would sound nice if I do this, but are you able to do it? Well, if you don't practice, you're not going to be able to play loud and play soft and things like that. And then practice so that you could play enough songs where you could see and listen to how songs are performed. Because if you look, I mean, the sheet, like classical music, like what I was just playing, it tells you everything you need to know, but also it's probably a good idea to like listen to other performances of that song, so that you can get a feel for what these things actually mean in case you don't know. Like I'm looking at the piece I was doing earlier here, and there's calmato I see here. What else is there? Like what other words are on here? There's dim. I mean, these are things that you'll know from. There's obviously P. There's animant. Means expressive, I think. So there's like a lot of stuff on here. So that's a loaded question, but yeah, I wish I started a little bit earlier because I kind of still want to play right now. I feel creative, but I also feel exhausted and tired. And so for that reason, I'm gonna head on out. So you guys have an awesome rest of your day slash evening, and I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, good night and farewell.